Jason, 40 points for Jaylen tonight after his heroics in game one. What have you seen from him throughout the course of this postseason? How has his game evolved in your view?
I think, the game is just slowing down for him more and more.
We built this shit. You didn't do this shit by yourself.
Do you feel like you're overlooked, slighted?
I mean, I watch guys get praised and anointed. I feel like it's half as talented as me on either side of the ball. I get better every single year. And whether people appreciate it or not, it is what it is.
And homie, you got it wrong. Homie ain't getting on just cause homie got a song.
Welcome for GP, G-Mac here with thoughts and reaction. Let me just set the tone by making this statement. Jason Tatum doesn't get the full credit he deserves because of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is underappreciated because of Jason Tatum. Dun dun dun. And let me explain. And I'll start with Jason Tatum. Of course, lately there's been a lot of discourse around Jason Tatum for the way he's been playing in the playoffs, which, for me, the way I've been analyzing it and watching the games over years, seems pretty regular. Seems pretty on point, on schedule for Jason Tatum to struggle in the playoffs. But, nevertheless, you have people who feel like
he's first-team All-NBA. He's an MVP candidate. People want to make. Listen, if he's not all those things, it's not for people not wanting to make him all of those things.
The Celtics organization is under pressure. Singularly, I'm not sure that it's all on Jason Tatum.
Why?
And then in the very same breath,
so yes, basketball we've all watched Porzingis be the difference maker, but so the Celtics potentially get to the finals again and lose again? They lose again. How many times are you going to get to the finals and keep losing?
Well, now you're finally coming around to my side of this conversation.
That's what I'm saying. For me, though, it's a Celtics pressure. I just don't know if I feel like it's solely on Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is his right-hand man, and he needs to be able to show up as well.
The point is we don't talk about.
Thank you.
And then on the other side, people are starting to come around to the idea that.
But individually on Jason Tatum, we can't put him in the category of LeBron James. I don't even think he has the it factor that Luka Doncic has. He has had 50-point game sevens. He's had 40-point game sixes to save the season. He's also had game threes where he fumbles away the series down 0-2 when you're like, dude, you're the best player on the team. You got to carry the team. Maybe he's just not that guy. Maybe he's just not that guy. Maybe he's just not that guy.
And in both of these two arguments, there's one common denominator that will bring balance that is being dismissed, and I think purposefully. Jason Tatum, like Keyshawn Johnson pointed out,
they anointed Jason Tatum.
They did.
The Celtics said, hey, you're our guy. They could have very easily said Jaylen Brown's the guy, and then Jason Tatum would be in the conversation of who's in the shadow.
Reputation, and it matters to him because it hurts him to his soul that the world is not seeing him as Jason's equal or better than a whole lot of players who made first, second, and third team. And I mean first team. He's looking at some first teamers thinking, what? He's looking at his teammate. He's not going to say this publicly because he handles this beautifully. But he's looking at his teammate saying, hey, I'm better than him.
Look.
Thank you.
Right. So people have to stick with their narrative that they've always had. You must leave out that common denominator, Jaylen Brown, because then it takes away from the argument. And here's what I mean by Jaylen Brown. Because outside of just the eye test, the numbers back it up as well. For instance, you take a look at Jason Tatum's career scoring average in the playoffs, and then you take Jaylen Brown's scoring average in the playoffs in that very same time frame. Regular season, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, 23 points a game. Oh, but Jaylen Brown only produces that much because he has Jason Tatum on the floor. Then, well, take a look at this. Jaylen Brown during the Jays era, without Jason Tatum, he's scoring 28.3 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and oh look, he's still shooting 51% from the field in that time frame. Jason Tatum, when he's by himself without Jaylen Brown, not bad numbers either. 26, we'll round up. 8, we'll round up. 4, we'll round up. And that will be on 47% shooting. So what I'm saying here is this. While the media keeps trying to push Jason Tatum as one of the young guys and this is his team and he's carried it by himself, Jaylen Brown has just as much to do with the Celtics' success in the Jason Tatum time frame as one Jason Tatum. But of course, the media needs narratives. Who else that they're comparing Jason Tatum to has a all NBA multiple time All-Star there almost producing as much as them. Because they keep trying to benefit or help Tatum benefit from the narrative of the Celtics' success, but they're not mentioning Jaylen Brown. This isn't Steph and Clay. This isn't Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. This isn't Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. This duo is more like Shaq and Kobe. It's just, I don't think anybody thought Jaylen Brown would be this good because I don't think they've been paying attention. Not like somebody like me or other supporters who've been pro Jaylen Brown since the inception of the two. Most people, especially from Boston, felt just like this guy, Adam Jones, who's on the radio.
He's playing at a higher level than Jason Tatum. But what I will say, and I said this in real time, I'm like, I don't think it's a good contract. I think they're overpaying him. I don't think he's worth the Supermax. I'd give it to him because I don't want to lose him, but I think you're overpaying. I did put out the caveat that I've been wrong about Jaylen Brown 8 billion times in his career. I've traded him for like every player in the league. I was there booing him on draft night when he was selected.
You traded him for James Harden.
I've traded him for so many people. I've traded him for Anthony Davis and James Harden, and I mean, I don't even know the list anymore. Kawhi, like some I stand by. If you would have traded him for Kawhi, you would have won a title instead of Toronto. And maybe you'll win your title now. But like, I've traded him 8 billion times. Most of them I would have been wrong about, okay? But Jaylen Brown continues to prove me wrong, and maybe he'll keep doing it. Maybe it is sustainable. Maybe he can do it at a high level.
Jaylen Brown has had to climb up from that narrative and build himself into a superstar, and that shit's even still happening today. And look, this isn't my first YouTube channel. I have another YouTube channel where I did Celtics content. Pretty much I do a lot of other type of content. Yeah, please subscribe to Doing It for GP. But I had to obviously separate that to get one in the to not mess up my algorithm chances, right? So I started a Celtics channel. But again, I talked about the Celtics since I started my channel. And I've been covering this Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum thing for years, and I'll continue to share this clip.
These two niggas, to me, are like Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter in Toronto. Jason Tatum in this scenario would be Vince Carter. Jaylen Brown, of course, Tracy McGrady, the late bloomer, the one they didn't think would make it, who ended up becoming a fucking superstar in his own right. I need y'all to understand. Jason Tatum is going to put on more of a workload. Jason Tatum is going to take it upon himself to try to become a superstar because we've already placed him on the mantle. Jaylen Brown is going to take it upon himself to try to become a superstar because you motherfuckers said he couldn't do it. He's already fucking in the Players Association. He wants to be great. And you motherfuckers keep trying to bring him back. Listen, the Boston Celtics, my Boston Celtics, have two future superstar wings in the making, and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Stop trying to separate my niggas, because that's what you do.
I'm fucking Nostradamus when it comes to this shit. And especially when a guy is producing at such a high level. Like, for instance, even weeks ago, they were talking about Jason Tatum during his time in the league having the most points in the playoffs. Yeah. What they neglected to mention that Jaylen Brown, yes, Steph Curry was number 2, but Jaylen Brown was number 3. How do you talk about Jason Tatum being the leading scorer in the playoffs with his teammate number 3 in that very same time frame and just dismiss it? That's the type of shit that Jaylen Brown's going through. And that's why Jaylen Brown all but said,
honestly, I don't got the time to give a
well, he actually did say it.
I mean, I watch guys get praised and anointed. I feel like it's half as talented as me on either side of the ball.
But he's been expressing those type of feelings via press conferences all throughout the years. If you've been paying attention, you would know. And it's been plenty of times people have come out the woodworks to talk about how Jaylen Brown was the best player until Jason Tatum had a great game. And it's happening again. You're getting all these Jaylen Brown is the best. But listen, stick to your fucking guns. Stop bandwagon jumping. If you ever felt like Jaylen Brown was the best player on the Celtics, stay with that shit, man. Because Jaylen Brown's always thought he was the best player on the Celtics. And I think it irks him to be producing as much and being as much responsible for the Celtics' success and to be rated so far behind Jason Tatum, who he has shown up consistently night to night. And look, man, I think Jaylen Brown would be, based on the numbers I just gave, would be a good number one on the team. Maybe they don't win, but you have to put pieces around him just like you have to put pieces around Jason Tatum. I just need this man to get a little bit more love. Open your eyes and pay attention to what's happening in Boston, and don't listen to no Celtics fan, because these motherfuckers been thirsty for the next superstar. And it's probably not Jason Tatum. Probably not Jaylen Brown either. These two motherfuckers are equals. You have two combined to make a one. That's the situation. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you like the content. This has been Celtics News Break. Till next time. Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
I'm just trying to follow up, motivated by more than getting hoes to swallow nothing. Really getting in the game is just not enough. You'll see me coming down the lane when it's not